Leave your comments on the Ask Reddit sub, and I'll read your answers on the next episode of LWIAR 2. The Pope slapped a woman on day 1 of 2020. World War III is trending on day 2. What will happen on day 3? Malaysian Airlines MH370 lands in Beijing and no one on board realizes they lost almost 6 years. Then they see the news they've missed and say frick this and get back on. Yeah, if I disembarked and heard someone rattle off the insanity of the past half-decade, for me I'd spin on my heels and clamber back up the stairs screaming for the void to take me. They step down the stairway, the sun in their eyes, their faces a mixture of shock and surprise. What's happened? They whispered, and listened, and then, they got back on board and they took off again. Wow, never thought I would catch you in the wild. Just 3 minutes. Just 3 minutes was my nickname in high school. Alright, this would be pretty interesting. Pretty sure OP is referencing manifestn.m.wikipedia.org. Honest to God, never heard of it. Is it worth watching? My superpower, creating awesome original stories that were made into average TV shows a year earlier. Unfortunately, no. It started promising but didn't go anywhere good. Go watch some good shows instead, like The Expanse and Mr. Robot Edit. I highly suggest everyone to check out The Expanse. It has 8.5 on IMDb, with season 3 and 4 having 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's most likely the best sci-fi this decade. S1 has a very detective noir feel to it, but later in S2 and onwards, it gets more focused on space sci-fi. The day is almost over here in Asia. Worry not, it's alright till now. For you maybe, for those on the US West Coast, they got a whole day common. I mean, I am going to spend it getting a passport and renewing my registration anyway, so a nuclear apocalypse doesn't sound so bad. Patrolling the Mojave DMV almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter. Yellowstone fricking blows. This reads like an unsatisfied Yelp review of Yellowstone. You're gonna love the 1-star National Park's Yelp reviews. Paid $20 to get in. Didn't even get to touch lava. What a sham. I also strongly recommend the 1-star reviews of the Bering Strait on Google Maps. It not straight, it gay. I love the internet. There are mosquitoes everywhere and I can get a larger portion of food from Olive Garden for the same price. Hard pass. Restock your beer more frequently. We bought you out in 3 days. I don't think this guy's an outdoors person. The outdoor bidet had way too much water pressure and it hurt my bum. 1 star. Australia burns, and then on day 4 my internet gets reconnected after 3 long weeks. I understand that you're upset about your internet, but setting a country on fire is overreacting. Jesus Christ, give the man his internet before he does something else. Wait. Phone life. It's just not the same sad face. Better watch out before R found the mobile user gets YAR. It's honestly the dumbest subreddit I've ever visited. Maybe not the worst, but definitely the dumbest. You forgot the apocalypse in Australia. That's the 2019 S. Here in Jakarta, almost 50 people have been killed in the worst floods in a decade and thousands of homes have been destroyed also. Very sad to hear, but blame is on the Indonesian government because of privatizing your pipe water networks in 1998. Hopes were that privatizing in 98 would get more people using tap water instead of groundwater. Unfortunately, they didn't do crap to improve things, so the government took back control of piping in 2017. Since taking over though, the government has yet to develop any long-term policies to improve the network, so groundwater wells continues to be used by about 65% of the population. For anyone curious, too much groundwater extraction causes land subsidence. The groundwater is removed and the land collapses on itself to fill in that leftover empty space, reducing the altitude surface land sits. Jakarta is now recorded to be sinking nearly 7 inches a year. By 2025, 5 years, 1/3 of the city will be uninhabitable and several million displaced. Blows my mind the government would prefer to ditch Jakarta and spend $30 billion to move their capital 100 miles instead of fixing the piping issues present. Edit. Adding sources below for you. Edit to. Stupid paywall on first link. Screen grabbed and linked to imager. Infrastructure specialist Hong Chu harm on what's directly causing sinking of city. Jakarta has sank more than 4 meters already, from private water pipes to government regaining control. Also estimate of total pipes needed. Cost of laying water piping in the US. Total sea level rise to compare to Jakarta's sinking. The moon will blow up suddenly and without warning. God damn it, Koro-sensei. I think you mean the moon will hatch into a giant space dragon. It's okay though, it will leave another one behind. Thanks for the warning. But now it will. Crap. When little Timmy stared above to see the starry sky, he looked with hope and joy and love. And sat and breathed a sigh. How sweet it is to see, he said, how fair to find a place, how nice it is to stare ahead. Beyond the skies to space. And so he sat and smiled, and soon he looked with peace and pride. A crack appeared across the moon. And Timmy freaking died. Alien invasion in the morning, second coming of Jesus in the afternoon. But whose side is Jesus on? The aliens. What a double cross. Nailed it. It was just hanging right there. See, this isn't fair at all. If I make a Jesus joke, I get crucified for it. True, some people take it overboard with their comments. Feels like a spear to the side sometimes. Jesus Christ, so many comments. Yahweh, more than I expected. Donald Trump reveals his birth certificate. He was born in Mexico. Don Juan Trump. And his middle name is Julio. Edit. Removed award speech. Maya, teniendo nuclear, mi tío fue un gran profesor científico y ingeniero, el Dr. John Trump del MIT. Buenos genes. Muy buenos genes. Okay. Muy inteligente. Wharton School of Finance. Muy buena. Muy inteligente. Ya sabes. Si es un republicano conservador. Si yo fuera un liberal. Si. Como. Okay. Si me postulara como demócrata liberal. Dirían que soy una de las personas más inteligentes del mundo. Es cierto. Pero cuando eres un republicano conservador intentan. Oh. Hacen un número. Por eso siempre empiezo. Fui a Wharton. Fui un buen estudiante. Fui Ali. Hice esto. Construí una fortuna. Ya sabes que tengo que dar mis credenciales similares todo el tiempo. Porque estamos un poco desfavorecidos. Pero nos fijamos en lo nuclear trato. Lo que realmente molesta. Hubiera sido tan fácil. Why no es tan importante como estas vidas. Lo nuclear es poderoso. Mi tío me explicó y eso hace muchos años atrás. El poder y eso fue hace 35 años. Él explicaría el poder de lo que sucedió y tenía razón. Quien lo hubiera pensado. Pero cuando miras lo que está pasando con el 4 prisioneros. Ahora solían ser 3. Ahora son 4. Pero cuando eran 3 y incluso ahora. Habría dicho que todo está en el mensajero. Muchachos. Why son muchachos pork. Ya sabes. No lo hacen. No se han dado cuenta de que las mujeres son más inteligentes en este momento que los hombres. Así que, ya sabes, les tomará otros 150 años. Pero los perses son grandes negociadores. Los arañas son grandes negociadores. Entonces, ellos simplemente nos mataron a nosotros. In English. Yes, Trump actually said this. Look, having nuclear. My uncle was a great professor and scientist and engineer. Dr. John Trump at MIT. Good genes. Very good genes. Okay. Very smart. The Wharton School of Finance. Very good. Very smart. You know, if you're a conservative Republican. If I were a liberal. If I ran as a liberal Democrat. They would say I'm one of the smartest people anywhere in the world. It's true, but when you're a conservative Republican they try. Oh, do they do a number? That's why I always start off. Went to Wharton. Was a good student. Went there. Did this. Built a fortune. You know I have to give my credentials all the time. Because we're a little disadvantaged. But you look at the nuclear deal. The thing that really bothers me. It would have been so easy. And it's not as important as these lives are. Nuclear is so powerful. My uncle explained that to me many years ago. The power, and that was 35 years ago. He would explain the power of what's going to happen, and he was right. Who would have thought? But when you look at what's going on with the 4 prisoners. Now it used to be 3. Now it's 4. But when it was 3 and even now, I would have said it's all in the messenger. Fellas. And it is fellas because, you know, they haven't figured that the women are smarter right now than the men. So, you know, it's gonna take them about another 150 years. But the Persians are great negotiators. The Iranians are great negotiators. So, and they just killed us. This is horrible. How do you frick up English this bad? U2.be in case someone missed the Pope slap like me. It's a slap on the hand. Thank you for that. Pope slap woman comes across as a pretty big scandal, but seeing the video he was justified. You don't treat anyone, especially an 83-year-old Pope, that way. If you aren't going to let go, be prepared for the consequences. I'd have done the same. She yanked on his hand. Pope isn't exactly a youth. That could have injured his hand, wrist, elbow or shoulder. She is lucky one of his bodyguards didn't decide to take action instead. Damn, she yanked him pretty hard. Security must have been pretty sleepy. Yeah, she could have fully stabbed or shot him in that time if her intentions had been different. Yeah, it looked like that yank might have hurt his shoulder. He wanted her to let go before he got hurt again. I wouldn't even call that a slap. Yeah, I immediately went to see the video and was surprised because the title of all the articles were clickbait. If he hadn't shrugged himself free, the same news sources could report woman assaults Pope, or security fails Pope, which I would think would be more justified. It must be just as infuriating to be yanked back by someone who forces you to listen to them as it is when your earbuds get yanked out of your ears by the door handle. That he only slapped her lightly to indicate that he wasn't going to go to her is to me an example of his patience. Pope nearly dies in assassination attempt. You won't believe what he did next. Then they cut the footage into 20 different 1-second clips that you have to view on separate pages. That crap was completely justified. Ridiculous. He needed to apologize for that. He wasn't apologizing because there's pressure to do so. He apologized because he is the Pope, and in his eyes, any act of violence is shameful, no matter how small. He wasn't wrong. He just also recognized his own failure to live up to his own standards in that particular situation. This is a very wholesome response, despite the fact that he shot John Lennon. Zephram Cochrane. Human. So, how do you guys reproduce? Vulcan. Well, the Vulcan male inserts his erect penis into the female's vagina and thrusts until he deposits his genetic material. It is an intimate and pleasurable act for both parties, though not always the most logical. Human. You don't say. The dollar goes under. We now use Cheerios as currency. You trying to cheat me? These are golden grams. We don't take your European Union money here. Quote. Betty White sex scandal. Go on. What did you do? He tried to warn us. Edit warn, not warm. Iran bombs something. Tilde tilde something tilde tilde someone. Some me. Some. French and German folks. Ah crap, here we go again. Minecraft 2. Cave update. Don't tease me. I want them to double the underground layer size and make underground biomes like mushroom forests. January 3rd, January 4th profit. IDK Palpatine probably gonna show up in a Death Star or something. Cats and dogs living together. Mass hysteria. The frogs will turn gay. Do you understand that? Question mark. They turned the frickin' frogs gay. God comes down and slaps the earth, sending humans into space to die. Yeet. World War IV is trending. 4. Did I sleep through 3? See, that is the beauty of WW4. It's gonna be so horrific it'll skip WW3 and go directly to WW4. TBF that LWIAR deserved it. What she did was certainly out of line, but I think it was a bit disproportionate for the US to order an airstrike against her. World War III is trending where? Everywhere on the internet, mainly Twitter and Reddit. Why is it suddenly popular? Hyperbole because a military group called PMF attacked the US embassy in Baghdad on Tuesday, so the US took out their leader yesterday. A military group called PMF Islamic Republic of Iran FTFY. Also, their leader was an official and uniformed high-ranking general in Iran's government. Trump just pardoned 3 ex-military who had committed war crimes. You don't think that the world beyond our borders labels us as terrorists too? You think they'd be justified in completing drone strikes on sovereign US soil? More specifically, assassinating this Iranian general, considered the number 2 in the Iranian government in Iraq with drone strike bombs at an international airport, was more akin to assassinating the vice president or secretary of defense by bombing Heathrow Airport in London while visiting our British allies. The Pope is slapping hose. The US is blasting brothers. Australia needs a hose. This really is the roaring 20s again, isn't it? I finally get laid again. I'll order a pizza and dessert, and those carbs will make me the most docile I've ever been. People around me will notice and be happy about it. Their happiness will radiate further. People smiling at each other on the streets, and soon January 3rd will be known as the day when humanity started to just be happy again. Or maybe it won't make such a big difference. But I'm off to order that pizza now. Cheers, dude. Maybe it works. If not, at least you have pizza. Win either way. On a mountain in Japan, holes shaped like humans will appear after an earthquake, and people will be mysteriously attracted to the holes so that they go inside and disappear. Thanks for watching LWIAR 2. The best of all time r/AskReddit submissions and comments. If you like this video, check out the original LWIAR channel. And don't forget to like and subscribe.